Put your hands together and we're gonna start the party.
I'm ready to party!
The Elvis Duran After Party.
The After Party Podcast. Let's go, kids. Let's go. Yeah! Got to talk to Michael. Michael sent a text in, and I'm not quite sure how to process it. I like it, but it's an interesting point he makes. Hi, Michael. How are you doing today?
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Doing well. May I read your text so we can go ahead and talk it out?
Of course.
All right. The text from Michael says, I have not listened to you in 20 years.
Whoa. Crazy.
I've been working from home and listening to Apple Music and streaming music for 20 years. I just completely forgot about radio. I can't believe you're still there. Okay.
Can we?
All right. So far, so good. So Michael says, listening to you is such nostalgia for me. It actually feels good to listen to radio again. I miss the days where on demand wasn't everywhere and getting your song on the radio felt so good. So after 20 years, I'm back. Wow.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
We're still here.
Yeah.
And by the way, and Apple Music is still there as well. So you can actually go back and forth if you have to. You know, in iHeartRadio, we have our own music stuff going. But anyway, so Michael, you turned us. Well, why did you turn us back on after 20 years?
You know, it's interesting. I was driving my son, who's 6, to camp, and he keeps saying, "Oh, play this thing, play this." He wants to listen to the same song over and over. And I said, you know, when I was a kid, and I think I started listening to you guys maybe when I was like maybe 14 or 15 in somebody else's car. I said, we didn't have you just listen. You just listened to the radio and you just hoped your song came on. And he's like, what? And I just put on Z100. And I started listening to it out of nowhere. I'm like, look. And I said, oh my God, look, I used to listen to these guys 30 years ago even. Wow. And he was like, no, put this on. And he requested some song. I'm like, no, we're going to listen to this now. So now every single day we're listening to it. And I'm like, I can't believe we're in such an on-demand world where there's just such disconnection to humanity. You guys feel like this connection back to the analog world, which I really miss now.
Right. I love that.
Well, you know, I got to say what you're saying is hitting a wonderful, warm nerve in a lot of us. And I tell you that with all sincerity and appreciation. So look, you know, we're living in this on-demand world. We are digital rather than analog world. We recognize that. And we're trying to gap between the two. It's very difficult going from analog to digital. We're trying to balance in the middle, right? But in our philosophy is, here's the Rihanna song. We're going to play it, and you're going to like it, whether you want to hear it or not, you know? And that's where we came from back then. 20 years ago, that's when we first signed on Y100 in Miami. That was 20 years ago. And we started forcing them to listen to our crap every day as well. So now, since you turned us off 20 years ago, we went across the country. We were on 80 radio stations. And then we're also digital. You can hear us around the world. But it's still not on demand. You still listen to what we play for you. Isn't that crazy?
And this is what the world needs. You know, in my profession, what I do, I'm on LinkedIn all the time, and everything is digital. People don't answer the phones anymore at all. Everybody's texting, everybody's emailing, and even though connectivity is at an all-time high, connection is at an all-time low, and it's such a problem. I think humans really need to step back a bit. AI is going to destroy the human connection. It may make it easily to send somebody a message, but I think we're going in the wrong direction. And it felt so good to listen to the radio and just to listen to the people that I was like, oh, and I actually went and Googled all your ages. I'm like, oh my God, am I old? Because I feel old now.
Oh, yeah.
No, don't feel old. Don't start that.
I was like, you guys aren't that much older than me. So that's why I'm like, holy crap.
I love this. This is amazing. I love that. You wake up, you turn on the radio, like, oh my God, Elvis Duran, he's still alive? What's going on?
Still alive. I was listening to you guys when I think Paul Cubby Bryant was there initially. Yeah. It was like 96 or 97. Wow. I remember listening to it. Wow. You know,
he still works down the hall.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, what you're saying is such an important part of why we do what we do. We continue to do this in this digital world, and it seems to still be working for us, right? And this is just this is how we do it, you know? It's kind of interesting. Yeah, Gandhi, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so is your son coming around? Like, do we have you both now as listeners?
Well, he doesn't have a choice.
Yeah.
So I'm
right.
his version of radio because he's like, play that. I'm like, nope, you're gonna play whatever comes on. And then he has no choice.
Love that.
So I'm forcing him into it. But I know that as a 6-year-old, we don't give him screens. I don't let him just press buttons on demand all day. If he's bored, I say, here's a pen and paper, go draw. I want him to get that. I don't think any of us will ever experience, or our kids won't ever experience, what it was like to be a kid in the 80s and 90s.
Nope.
You can't explain what it was like. And today, you just see it everywhere, right? Everybody's looking down on their screens all the time, on their phones. And then you're like, and somebody mentioned before, like they doom scroll or they play Gardenscapes. Like, that stuff is insane. It's a waste of precious time.
Truly.
And we don't have that much time, right? Like, I'm probably 50% of the way through my life, and I have no idea where it went. So looking at a screen for 2-3 hours a day, you start going, what am I doing?
Interesting. Michael, you actually started this conversation out with a very powerful message for other parents and other people out there who have just fallen into the digital ditch and really just, why get out of it? Why go back to the old analog way of living? Well, you just told us why, because it takes you to a spot that's more relaxing, less anxious. It's
healthier in general.
Healthier?
Much.
I don't know. Yeah, it's the same as eating food that you ate when you were a kid. It takes you to a place where you can actually eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and you feel your heartbeat lessen and go down, and it's just
can't have peanut butter in school anymore. That's another thing that's sad.
You got to
can't even give my son peanut butter.
Yeah.
Got to do peanut free, right? And if you look at the World Cup, it showed everybody, by the way, if you think about all the stuff we're doing, look at the World Cup. Nobody was on their phones. Everybody was celebrating. No country was fighting with each other. Everybody was just hanging out together.
Yeah.
The only thing that bridges the gap is that human connection. The moment people start looking at what your country or your president said about my president on social media, we all start hating each other. We're like, why? I don't even know these people. And then when you're in the same World Cup games and whatnot, you're all hanging out. No one cares. They just care about the game and the person next to them. Perfect strangers.
Michael, it's just so crazy that we made this connection. Well, you actually forced this connection today with us, and I'm so appreciative of that. This is actually fantastic for all of us. Yeah, I got to tell you, Michael, we still run into people in everyday life around New York who will come up and go, "Oh my God, you still have a radio show? I used to listen to it when I was a kid, and now my grandkids listen to some when I force them." And then the next thing they say is, "I hope I'm not offending you by saying this, but you've been around a long time. You know what? Offended is the very last thing it is." It's so heartwarming because we've been doing this a very long time. And to know that you've stumbled across us and you're back with us, you can go back and forth to streaming music. You can do whatever you want. You still have that digital choice. And we appreciate it.
That's the thing. It's having the choice of being able to, go back in time. I don't have that. It almost feels like a time warp for me. It really is. It's just amazing because I was a kid, and then boom, here I am. I remember going to the, meat market like 20 years ago, just out of college. Right?
Oh Lord,
does that even
was quite
happen
the
anymore?
No. We stopped that.
No.
Bring that back.
Well,
we got
right.
rid of a few
and
things.
I remember. Yeah. Well, that's why I'm saying I think about all that, and it was always like. It was like Z100. I had the number memorized. I'm like, I remember this number, 1-800-242-0100. It was like said every time. It was just amazing. It's honestly just amazing, guys. And I've actually never called in. This is like the first time I text and boom. So I'm one for one.
I'm so happy you did. So grateful you did. And I got to tell you, even though we still dragged the phone taps and the horoscopes with us all these years, which drives me insane. I hate them both, but we still do them. But the thing is, this is what I want to leave this with. If you have a choice between radio and this tried true way of us giving you content versus digital, and you still choose to come to us, wow, that says a lot about you and what you need in your life and how you want to digest the content. And I think that's fantastic. Yeah. And I love that. Michael,
100%.
all the best to you and your son and your family. And thank you for the best text of the year. This was amazing to speak with you.
Guys, it was such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Have a great day. Have an analog day, Michael.
The Elvis Duran After Party.